Girl, you are stepping into one of the many successful seasons of your life. Believe it, claim it, manifest it.
I know it may seem early, but this is literally the absolute best time to start prepping for 2024 to become the best version of you. This time of year, I really do feel like there are two different types of people. There are those who really want to use this time to slow down and to rest. And then there are those that want to give 2023 that one last push towards their goals. And I do believe that there is a middle ground between those two. You just have to create it, and that looks different for everyone. I used to be the type of person that would really slow down this time of year because I felt like if I didn't, then the holidays and everything I love about this season would just pass me by. And if I was so focused on evolving in productivity and goal setting, then I wouldn't get to enjoy the season. And that is just not true. I wouldn't do any planning or anything. I just put so much pressure on myself between celebrating the holidays and then also just trying to basically change myself by the new year. Not saying that you have to become a new person, but just like implementing new habits and routines and trying to make it happen so quickly, I would end up burning out within like the first 2 weeks of January if I even made it that far. I would do this year after year. I would end up setting the same goals over and over again. Then I just made the realization after diving into so many productivity videos and reading so many self-help books, just because I am so passionate about self-growth and motivation and productivity, I noticed that a lot of really successful people, they take their time, they plan, and they really implement habits and routines, who they want to become. They take their time to build that version of themselves that they want to be, and they don't just jump in head first and cross their fingers that it sticks. Unfortunately, that's not the way the world works. So today we're going to go over some things that you can do to really feel as prepared as you can going into 2024 and already go into it feeling like the best version of you. Think about if you really use this time to start waking up early, or to create routines that you want to start the year doing, or implement the habits. Like, what if you already started the new year with whatever habit you're wanting to implement already being so ingrained in you, you're already hitting the ground running. The first thing we can do is check in on our 2023 goals. This is really important so that we can figure out where we can improve and maybe what we need to carry into 2024. If there is something on there that you are really wanting to achieve, but you don't feel like you're going to be able to by the end of the year, it is totally okay to put goals on hold. It's okay to set them to the side and revisit them later. Just focus on what you can achieve by the end of the year if you give that final push. But also be realistic. Don't make it something that's completely going to drain you. But if you truly do have the time, the energy, and the motivation, and you really feel like you can hit this by the end of 2023 and start the new year even 10 steps ahead, then do it. And it's totally okay to not align with some of these goals anymore. You set these 10 months ago. Things change. You change. It's okay to even delete certain goals. So really just take what you set in 2023, evaluate what you did accomplish, what you did not accomplish, maybe what worked, what did not work, and what you can focus on for this last 90 days. Starting this early also gives you time to really build and ingrain habits. So ideally, if you're trying to become the best version of you, that version of you has some really good habits that maybe you're wanting to build. And if you're able to start building those habits by October, November, by the time January 1st rolls around, you'll already have that basically a part of your identity, and it's basically just a reflex to you at that point. So whether you're wanting to wake up earlier, you're wanting to work out more, stretch, meditate, journal, whatever it is, whatever that version of you does that you aspire to do, really take your time to build that and to iron out the kinks of that, because honestly, each habit is different for everybody. Maybe just figuring out what time of day is best for you to do this, or what time is best for you to wake up. Maybe what schedule works best for you. Really, whatever you feel like you need to do, iron out the kinks so that by the time that 2024 comes, you are so ready. You already have that habit instilled in you, and you can be way ahead from where you would normally be if you had just waited to start the habit on January 1st. So say you want to wake up earlier. Maybe you wake up at 7 now and you want to wake up at 5 to get a lot more done and just enjoy your mornings. You can take like a week to wake up at it's like 6:45 and then 6:30. Get yourself down to where you can wake up at 5, and you'll be doing that consistently for a few weeks. And then by the time it's January 1st, you will be a 5 a.m. morning person. And then if you work on building that and realize that 5 a.m. isn't for you, then you have time to tweak it and figure out what time does work best for you. Life happens, so being able to have a trial and error time and a time to really build and implement is just so incredibly crucial to feeling prepared and ready to tackle your goals in the new year. This is also the time to figure out what routines work best for you and ironing out your morning routines and night routines. In my opinion, a night routine is way more important than a morning routine, because if you have a really crappy night routine, then your morning is probably not going to be good. I know if I go to bed really late or just later than what I should, the next day I'm dragging and it's like my mentality is kind of shot, my motivation is shot. Mornings really do truly start the night before. So if you're able to build a routine where you cook dinner early and you're able to get showered and clean, wind down by a good time and set yourself up for green lights for the next day. So maybe setting out your workout clothes, or like I do, I pre-brew my coffee, so all I have to do is just hit a button in the morning. Then do that to where those become so natural to you that you can carry that into the new year and you'll already kickstart your morning because your nights will be on fleek. I feel like so much focus is put on morning routines, which yes, they're great because they do set the tone for your day, but if you're not setting yourself up for a successful morning the night before, it's really pointless. And I learned that the really hard way, because I used to be so laser focused on having the perfect morning routine that had all of these healthy habits, and I don't know, it took me a lot of time to figure out what works best for me in the mornings because it's truly different for everybody. I really learned how important it is to have a really good night routine. If I have a night where it's just chaotic, or I don't get much sleep, or I feel behind, which there are nights where I stay up editing and the next morning I sleep in longer and I don't wake up whenever I want to because I need that extra rest, but I also have to modify my workout. And it really just, if you have a crappy night, your morning is probably not going to be the best that it can. We also need to review our finances. So this one is not fun. I don't like doing this one. I don't think anybody likes doing this, except maybe people that like numbers, but I don't like numbers. Math was never my thing. It is a necessary thing to do and a necessary adulting task that unfortunately we cannot get away from, especially as prices rise. It is very, very important to budget and know where you're spending your money, and truly just tracking your finances, going with a budget is going to be such a big deal because you'll be able to save more money than you realize. And honestly, I hate it because money to me is so materialistic, but truly the world runs on it. It's a tool. It's a tool you can use to solve problems. And if money is low or you feel a lack of money, it really trickles into every other aspect of your life. It just makes people on edge. It makes your tummy turn. It's just not a good feeling. So if we can take what we do have and allocate it in a very effective way and understand where things are going, how much we can spend in a certain category, if you will, then it will really help relieve that stress, and that way you're able to focus on other things. It can be discouraging to start this time of year because this is generally whenever people spend the most amount of money, but truly it is the best because you can set a budget for those things and not overspend and go into the new year completely strapped. For instance, you can set a budget for gift giving for each person for Christmas as far as like how much you want to spend per person, and then you can get a total as far as like how much you need to dedicate towards Christmas gifts, any events coming up, maybe if you need to buy an outfit or you need to bring like a dish, you can set a budget for that and have a set amount for that so it's already accounted for. It can seem like the worst time to start, but it truly is the best because it can take the stress away even from those situations, because you already know how much money is going to go towards that, but just knowing how much you're spending and not overspending is a major stress reliever. A really big part of the new year is planning, and I love setting up planning systems. It is just so satisfying. I think this is the time where you can really play around with different planning systems, so you can decide whether you need to get a new planner or if you want to start visual planning, maybe on like Google Calendar or Notion. Notion. I started my Notion around this time last year and I love it so much. I do kind of a combination of digital and physical planning, but you can really take the last 90 days of this year and play around with different digital planning software. You can also shop planners and see which format works best for you instead of feeling so rushed to just pick something because you need something by the time the new year starts. Figure out what planning system works best for you, work that into your routines, and you will be way ahead of a lot of people by the time the new year starts, I promise. Another thing I really love to do is to declutter. So I've been trying to do this more throughout the year, but to be honest, there are just spots in our home that need to be decluttered every few months. So use this time to declutter different areas of your home so you're starting the new year with fresh energy. And along with this is to optimize your environment. I'm someone that is completely dictated by my environment. If my environment is chaotic, I'm chaotic. If it's disorderly, I cannot, like my productivity suffers. It's just a whole thing. And if you're anything like that, making sure your environment is optimized for your healthy habits and your routines is going to be super crucial when maintaining these things and actually building them. Let's just say, I don't know, you're wanting to maybe make a smoothie every single morning, but your fridge is kind of cluttered, it needs to be cleaned out, and you can't really see what's in there. What are the odds that you're going to go in there and dig out all the recipe ingredients for a smoothie every single day versus if you had your refrigerator very nice and clean and orderly and you could see what was in there? You'd probably be more likely to go in there and make healthy things. Make your smoothie every single morning because you know where the ingredients are and you don't have to like dig through everything and find it. Optimizing your environment is truly going to set yourself up for success and make the things that you are trying to do and implement that much easier. Because let's be real, building habits and routines is a challenge, so anywhere we can make it easier on ourselves, we should do. You're more likely to build those habits and routines and stick to them because you're actually set up to do that. Bringing in that fresh energy for the new year is going to be so incredibly beneficial. So those are a few things that you can do to really start becoming the best version of yourself for 2024. I'm so excited to make even more 2024 content. This is just the beginning, so make sure that you subscribe down below so you don't miss my other 2024 videos. I can't believe that it is like 90 days away, actually less than that now. I really hope you got some inspiration and some good ideas from this video. If you have any other things that I didn't mention that you do to really set yourself up for the new year, make sure to comment those down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.